Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Pure Noble Therapy. I'm an old soul living in a young person's body, and I've created this safe space on YouTube where we're going to talk about healing, love, growth mindset, and all things life, basically. If you want to stick around, please feel free to do so. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this with someone who you think will need it. I love you. Before we get into the video, you already know what time it is. Tea time, darling. Today I'm sipping on a rose again. Mind your business. Why are you drinking rose every week? Well, one, that's what I have. I also have clove and other things. But rose is something that a generator needs. Well, not needs, but it helps a generator. And I'm a generator based on my human design. You're probably like, what the heck is that, girl? We're going to get into that today in today's video. Don't worry. But Rose helps with self love, feeling beautiful, abundance. And so, those are things that I am amplifying in my life right now, that self love, the beauty, and all those things. So, that's why I'm drinking Rose again. Now, let's get into the video. Okay, so last week we talked about mirrors. Was last week about mirrors? Yes, it was. Last week we talked about mirrors, okay? Matter of fact, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I lied. Time is flying. Last week was actually about gratitude and how gratitude is the key. The week prior was relationship mirrors. So, this week we're going to talk about how to get to know yourself, knowing thyself. Now, the reason we are going to do this video today is because last week I did a video on TikTok, and I think I posted a short here on YouTube, but I did a video basically telling you how to cleanse your energy. And I had a friend reach out to me and she's like, well, how do I even know that I need to cleanse my energy? And like, how do I even start that? Like, and then I also did a 3-day self lock in, meaning I had just had 3 days where I was focused on my energy. Like, I wasn't involving myself in things that had nothing to do with me. And that's not to say I don't care about people and what they have going on. It's just I needed time for me, and that is okay. So, with all of that, I was like, you know what? Oh, and then, so my friend asked me, well, how do you even know you need to do this? Then the second thing that happened is I went to church, and the pastor was talking about how we as human beings are systems. And in order to live this life according to the way that God intended it for us, we have to know our system. And I thought that was so interesting because I have said for a few years now that we are computers, okay? And I just recently came up with this analogy, like more into detail about the analogy is what I meant by saying like the brain is the PC. Then your spine that goes like from your crown all the way down to your root is like the cord that connects the monitor and the PC. Then your veins are like the wires and things like that in the computer. So if we know that we are systems, we know we have to learn our system, okay? So in learning our system, we're going to learn how the system works and what the system needs, okay? What does my body need? Okay, what does my spirit need? And then I'm going to teach you at the end how to cleanse your energy. And I got the notes out today because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything, honey. Okay, so that's what we're going to be discussing today, how to know thyself and then cleansing that energy. Okay. Okay, So the first thing is, how does one get to know thyself? That's the question. How do you get to know yourself? I feel like the way you get to know yourself, and this is how I got to know myself, is by spending time with your shadow. Now, normally when people hear, oh, spend time with your shadow, or oh, your shadow side is coming out, they get scared. I was someone who was scared of my shadow because I felt like it was a negative thing. But spending time with your shadow, and your shadow is not negative. Those just show you like your insecurities. It also shows you, who am I when no one else is around? Okay. Who am I when I'm not thinking about what other people are perceiving me to be? Who am I when I just get to exist and be? So I got to figuring out who I am when I'm not being perceived by spending that alone time. Okay. When you're spending alone time, you really get to see, like, oh, what am I focusing my attention on? What am I doing when I'm not influenced by other people? And that's not a bad thing to be influenced by other people, but it is something to be aware of, okay? Because am I doing things because I want to do it, or because I've done it with other people and it just maybe felt good in the moment, or I thought it felt good because I was doing it with a group of people? Maybe it's the community that you are liking and not the actual activity. Are you with me? Okay. So I found that what works for me is listening to my body. And so, with listening to my body, that looks like when I first get up in the AM, I'm like checking in, scanning, okay? So, if you want, we can do a little quick scan right now. So, we're gonna take a deep breath, and then you can go to your head. How is my head feeling? What are the thoughts that are going on in my head? When you come down, what is my chin feeling? I mean, not my chin, what is my forehead feeling? What is my third eye feeling? What are my eyes feeling? What is my nose feeling? What is my upper lip feeling? What is my lip feeling? What is my jaw feeling? Are we feeling any tension? I know right now I have some tension in my shoulders. I need to relax. You go down, okay, shoulders, there's tension there. Ooh, consciously think about relaxing. Another important thing is to check in with your brain. Relax it if it needs to be relaxed, because your brain is a muscle. And sometimes we're thinking so much, we're tightening up our brain. But if you just literally send a signal or a thought to your brain and say, relax your brain, it will relax. So, you do that. You check in with your body, scan, boom, shoulders. How's my chest? How's my heart? Is my heartbeat pounding? Is it calm? Like, how's my stomach? How are my, abdomen? How are my legs? How are my knees? How are my shins? How are my ankles? How are my feet? When you check in with yourself, when I check in with myself, it lets me know, ooh, okay, maybe my heart is beating a little fast because I'm a little anxious. Yesterday I got up and I had an appointment set up with, or a meeting set up with this videographer to talk about filming a music video. But when I got up, my body, my heart was racing. I was feeling fears of like lack because I don't necessarily in my bank account have the money that I know is on the way to me? And so I'm like, dang, how am I going to pay for this hostel that I'm staying at? What's going to happen? But ultimately, everything is always works out. Everything is meant to be. And I say this because with checking in with my body, I was like, I know that I'm not in the right energy frame or mind frame to go talk about something creative and go on an hour and a half train ride to go talk to someone. So I ended up rescheduling the appointment, which in the long run turned out amazing, because yesterday I went on a walk. I ran into this elder who gave me a prayer card. Then I ran into this other elder who I was able to talk to him and help him work through some things. And then I was able to work through some things with myself while talking to him and talking to the elder woman. And then I got to witness a hawk come and like fly on this balcony and just sit there for a few minutes and just really take in the nature and like take in the beauty of stillness and no rush. So that one thing, getting in touch with my body, okay? Another thing that I've learned about myself and my body is I need time in nature, especially to start my day. I need time outside. I need time to just walk and smell the fresh air and be with my thoughts and feel the fresh air on my skin, because it just feels good. And I know it feels good because these are things I did as a kid. Okay, we're going back to that inner child. Everything has to do with the inner child when you really think about it, because the inner child is who you are, it's who God created you to be. But then you came, in this world, and society told you that you weren't good enough, or you think you're too good, you know. And so we dim our light and we start doing things that we don't even like to do, but because we've just done it because other people have done it. Okay, so getting out in nature is something that helps me, as well as journaling. Journaling is something that really helps me because it helps you get your thoughts out. And when I was little, I had a journal. I didn't call it a journal, I called it a diary. I'm sure a lot of us had a diary. Um, or maybe not. Maybe I'm projecting. But, I had a diary. And now, as an adult, I've gotten back into diarying and journaling, writing things down, getting my feelings out. I have to do that, or else my thoughts are going to just be blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then all of this ties into your human design, the computer that you are, the system that you are. Now, there is this website and this, uh, I don't even know what to call it, like a belief system, or a tool that helps you know what your human design is. It's like myhumandesign.com, I believe. But you go on there and you find out what type of energy you hold. Are you a generator? I'm a generator. Generators, people feel their energy, okay? They're the ones who create the energy around them. So when I walk into a room, my presence is felt. And this is something that I realized before I knew that I was a generator and knew why this was happening. Because sometimes we think like, I'm walking into this room and everyone's just staring at me, and you're thinking like, what's wrong with me? And it's like, no, babe, there's nothing wrong with you. Your energy is just felt. And so, with knowing that, I know that when I'm going in public settings, I need to make sure my energy is in check, because I don't want to have my energy affect the whole entire room and people are sad, or people. So, I need to make sure that I'm right with me. So, I go walking, I journal, I meditate, I move my body. You also have projectors. Projectors, I believe they project things onto other people. um like things that they're feeling, I believe that they put it onto other people. There's reflectors, people who reflect back to you what you are showing. Then you have manifesting generators. These people are like generators, but the things that they say manifest really quickly. So I recommend everybody going and figuring out what your human design is, because of some of these things that are on my human design and they're saying that I should be doing, I've already been doing because I know myself. So it's just cool to have that like tangible thing that you can touch and feel, because as humans, we get so comfortable with the things that we can touch and like feeling like, oh, if I can't touch it, it's not real. But God, you can't touch God necessarily, but God is real. Clock that tea, darling. Okay. So I hope that makes sense on how does one get to know thyself, by literally spending time with yourself, thinking about the things that gave you joy when you were a kid, or just trying new things, okay? Next, we're going to get into how did I get to know myself, okay? All right, so there may be some of you out there who are like, how do I even know or get to know myself? Or how do I know I need to get to know myself? Let me take a sip of tea. So for me personally, in around 2020, 2021, I was in a very toxic relationship. It had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and eventually, oh, a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and my body was literally getting sick. There was a period of time where, like, in 1 month span, I lost like 20, 30 pounds because I was vomiting so much, and not because I was like, you know, making myself throw up. Like, I wasn't physically intentionally doing it. My body was just reacting. So, and I would go to the hospital and I have to get IV fluids. Like, for 3 or 4 days, I'd be vomiting so much and then have diarrhea. Excuse me. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? I got allergy tested. They said that it was, allergies. I'm allergic to shellfish. And some of the times when I was sick, I was eating crabs, but I didn't think that that was like affecting me. And looking back, it's like, oh no, I was in a relationship where I was waking up anxious. I'm waking up and my heart is pounding and I'm feeling my heart around my whole, like my heart pound around my whole body. And so I'm like, okay, I am tired of feeling this way. I am tired of, getting in arguments with my boyfriend at the time and our plans getting canceled. So, you know what I did? I did what I did as a kid. I would go on nature walks, when I got up, I would start stretching. And eventually my ex would be like, or my boyfriend at the time would be like, dang, you haven't complained about your back hurt. And I'm like, oh, I haven't because I'm stretching and I'm moving that energy, you know? And so in that toxic relationship, I got tired. My body was physically letting me know, like, babe, something's got to give. Like, you were a shell of yourself. Like, man, when I see those, this is just giving me a reminder of like when I see those pictures of women who were in these like toxic relationships and they were got so skinny, and then when they get out of that relationship, they get their life back. And it was me. That was actually me. And, alone time really showed me that. Like, I remember the first time when my ex and I got into an argument, and instead of instead of canceling the plans like he wanted to do, I just went by myself. Like, and that day I felt so freaking powerful. I'm like, okay, like I can go do something by myself. Who's that girl? Okay. And so that alone time showed me like what I like and that feeling of like, oh, I can do this. Like I'm scared, but I can do it. And like I know that the car ride there, I was so nervous, but the car ride back, I felt so assured and self assured that like I can do hard things. And sometimes being alone is hard because a lot of us don't spend that time alone and we don't know who we are because so much of our life has been the things that our parents showed us and taught us or our friends showed us and taught us. But when did we take the time to actually say, hey, I'm going to intentionally take this time alone? When? I'll wait. And so when I moved to Iowa, it was really like, wow, even though I may be scared, I got to go get groceries. So I can't wait for a friend because I don't have a friend here yet. So I started going places alone. I went grocery shopping alone. I lived right across the street from a movie theater. So I would go to the movie theaters alone. And let me tell you, if you've never been to the movies alone, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. And I highly recommend getting a seat on the edge, like by the wall, and then getting the seat that's like one away from the wall. So that way, no one's going to want to get that one seat in the corner, like sitting next to a stranger, especially if the theater's not full. So what I would do is put both of the recliners up and lay across and like I'm at the house and bring my snacks and we watching a movie. Okay. I also realized I don't like watching heavy action movies in the movie theater. I watched Equalizer 3. I think, yeah, 3, I believe. And I was like, oh my God, this is so gory and bloody. And I just didn't like it. I can watch like a Marvel movie and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I watched these movies, these action violent movies because other people were putting them on or other people wanted to go see them. I don't like them. I never have because I remember like when I would watch movies like really violent movies, I would jump or ooh ah ooh or like when something is about to be really violent, I cover my eyes, and that's just telling me that I don't want to see that. Okay, so that's why it's so important to do things alone because you'll really see like oh. Either I like this or I don't. And it's okay to just realize you're not judging yourself. You're just observing and finding you. That's really it. And yeah, it's really important to know yourself because then you're able to be your authentic self. Okay, God created us all individually, and I'm going to keep stressing that. We have to be our authentic self because that's where the creativity lies, that's where the originality lies. Okay, We're not all supposed to look alike. We're not all supposed to dress alike. We're supposed to be individuals. Okay? Nobody came into this world with someone else unless you're like a conjoined twin, you know? Like, but other than that, like, and even they kind of come out separate because one part of the body has to come out, but it's neither here nor there. Okay? Authenticity. It's so important because God created us individually. So we all need to let our light shine. Okay? Okay, beautiful people. I am going to teach you how to cleanse your energy now. You want to get all of your air out that you have. So I like to just take a deep breath and just, or like a little quick breath and you see my stomach? I look crazy, but you see my stomach, how it's in? That's what you want. Okay? So you're going to breathe in deep and breathe out. Now that you've, gotten the air out, the intention is to just get in touch with your body. You can place a hand on your stomach or place a hand on your heart or both. And then you will picture a capsule, like a pill capsule. You're going to picture it going on top and on bottom of you and then closing so that you are in this capsule. While you're in this capsule, I want you to imagine from the bottom of you, like from where your sits bone is. I want you to imagine roots going down into the earth. If roots don't make you feel comfortable, use wires, use flowers, use what makes you feel safe and feel good. But you need to be connecting your energy into the earth. And you do that by making, you know, a pathway. You make roots through to the ground and to into the center of the earth. Now that you are connected to the earth, you're going to intentionally remove the energy from your body that is no longer serving you, any energy that is not mine. Now, if you ask, how do I do that? You simply say in your mind's eye, I'm removing any energy that no longer serves me. I'm removing the energy that is not mine. Okay? And you do that until there's, you feel good, you feel safe, you feel like, okay, everything is gone. Now that you have released that energy into the earth, you're going to pull some energy from earth, but you're going to pull the earth's abundance, the earth's protection, the earth's wisdom, the earth's flexibility, whatever you want to pull from the earth, you're going to pull that up and bring that up your roots and back up into your body. Now that we've grounded ourselves, we're going to bring alignment into ourselves from the top of our crown now. So now from the top of your crown, you're going to imagine and visualize your light going all the way up, 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 up into the ethers and filling up your capsule and filling up around you. And if you're a beginner, it may not be, your light may not be as big, or it may be big and you're surprised by your power, but we all have a light about us. If you can't envision a specific color, just envision a gold light going up into the earth. I mean, up into the sky, up into the sky, up to the stars and the clouds and the sun. Your light is going up, and you're going to pull from Christ consciousness energy and pull that down into you, and merge that with your light and put that into your body, your energy field, and your aura. And while you're doing this, you're continuing to take deep breaths, okay? And get in touch with your body. Okay, we've grounded and then we've cleansed our energy and then we've pulled energy from Christ consciousness. Now we're going to say that any negativity is going to bounce off of our capsule. No negativity can affect us. If it tries to come near us, it's going to bounce off of our capsule and send back to that person with love and send back to them with healing energy. And if you want to take it a step further, you can send them love, but you can also say any negativity sent my way, I send it back to them with love. And any negativity that is sent my way turns into money. It turns into love. It turns into whatever you want it to turn into. That feels right to you. I personally do positive things, things that are going to benefit me and the collective and benefit everyone, with good to all and harm to none. Now you should feel, clear. You should feel light. You should feel like, wow, okay, I feel a little good. You open your eyes and the world around you should feel different. It should look different as it does for me. Okay? And you just keep doing that until it does look different and feel different for you. I love you, beautiful people. I really hope that this helps you cleanse your energy as it's helped me and a bunch of other people that I know. And yeah, I love you so much. All right, beautiful people. That is the end of the lesson. The three things I want you to take away is one, spending alone time helps you truly get to know yourself. Two, being self assured removes people pleasing. Three, authenticity is powerful. Okay, so be you. The world is waiting on you, and I will keep saying it. Okay. All right, so now we are doing our check in with me. How am I feeling? This last week has truly been eye opening because it's showing me how much I know myself. And then in knowing myself, I'm realizing that as someone who gives a lot of love, I've been scared to receive love. And I've been scared to receive love, I feel like, because growing up, love was something that was kind of like dangled in front of me, like my mom's love was never unconditional. My dad wasn't really in my life. And my relationships, like with friends, didn't necessarily feel like love because I felt like I had friends who benefited from me being a people pleaser. And I had relationships with guys who benefited from me being a people pleaser. Even, I had a relationship with a woman and she benefited from me being a people pleaser. And the moment I didn't please her, it was over and she was getting physical with me. So I've been scared to receive that love. And like when I start to get a little bit of love, I'm like, ooh. But I'm so free to give it because I know that my love is genuine. I don't necessarily know that everyone else's love is. But in knowing that we are mirrors, I'm realizing that, hey, I'm scared to receive love, but so are the people who I've been giving my love to. And that's why I haven't had like relationships, romantic relationships that have been truly fulfilling, and I don't really do this, but I'm gonna share with you guys. I did have a first date with someone on Sunday. Oh no, not Sunday. I met him on Sunday and we went on a date on Tuesday. I met him at the farmer's market, and Tuesday we went on a date, and it was a really, really, really great date. And it was the first time I was like feeling secure and safe, even secure like when I'm not with him. I'm able to, if he's not texting me back, I'm like, okay, like he's busy, or like we have our own lives. Like we're not supposed to be just sitting here talking 24/7 a day because that's not love. I'm not saying that I'm like loving him already. Well, I do love all of God's children, but you know what I mean. Like I felt safe and I feel safe. And even if it doesn't work out with him, that's okay because I feel safe and secure in myself and knowing that I am able to receive love now because I know where it's coming from. I know why I had an issue in the past. And now I know that just because I didn't receive it in the past and I didn't get the love I wanted in the past doesn't mean that I'm not going to get it now. and I'm not going to get it in the future. So, yeah, I've just been realizing that, y'all, and it's time to move. And when I say it's time to move, I mean like it's time to make some things happen. I have been in this hostel, I've been in LA for 3 months, and I love LA and what it's provided for me. And I know that it's going to continue to provide for me. However, I know that I have to go like network and put myself in environments so that I can, potentially get investors and things like that because right now I'm currently not working, I'm focused solely on my creative purpose and focusing on my relationship with Christ, and through that I've been blessed with donations and people to help me. And today is my last night at this house that I'm staying at, and I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow, but I know that I have everything I need, and I know that God is going to provide because God has provided. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. If you care to share, let me know how you are in the comments. And I really hope that you got something from this message today about knowing thyself, because it's really important to know yourself so that you can know what works for you, know who works for you, and know where you need to be in life. So I love you, beautiful people. If this message resonated, as always, please send it to someone who you really think will need it. And I'll see you at the same place, same time next week. Well, it won't be the same place because I won't be here next week, but it will be somewhere in nature. But it will be the same time. I love you so much.